And I already have our amazing guest. She's seated already. Mrs. Tola Oyewo, she's here already. She's God's delight. She's a wife to an amazing man, Mr. Oyewo. She's a certified relationship counselor. She's an author. She's a YouTuber. She's a conference speaker. There's this one that I want to say. She did not ask me to say it, but me, I'll say it. She's my very special Egbon that is there every time. So thank you for joining us and those that will watch again. So we just head straight into the topic, setting healthy boundaries in relationship. But just to put a clause to it, the relationship we are talking about is romantic relationship. So over to you, Mama. We are
Thank
ready
you
for
so
you.
much.
Drum rolls! You're welcome, Ma.
Thank you very much, Sister Oluwashem. I really appreciate you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for the amazing job you are doing.
Thank
And
you.
now you are taking it a step further by getting certified. That's
Yay.
really appreciated. So I really appreciate you for the job well done, for the effort, and I pray that the Lord will continue to grant your efforts in Jesus' name. Thank you very
Amen.
much for the opportunity. I do
Thank
not
you.
take it for granted. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Okay, so we'll just start right away.
So, Ma, no,
As
just
we are
before you, please,
already.
just before you start, your video is coming. Maybe you can put it down. Yes, like this is better. Yes, it's okay like this.
Okay, so like she mentioned earlier, our topic is setting healthy boundaries in relationships. And our focus for this particular session will be on romantic relationships. You know, love is something that everybody is interested in. I mean, you hardly get to see someone that is interested in hate. You know, everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants to love. So it's important for us to know the right things, you know, the appropriate do's and don'ts in a healthy relationship. It's important for us to know that for first for ourselves, and also to be able to know what we are willing to accept and not accept from others. That's very important. That would help us to thrive in our romantic relationships. So, as a way of introduction, I would like to say that setting boundaries is about creating clear guidelines on how we would love to be treated and how we would also like others to treat us.
Hmm.
You know, it's just about setting clear guidelines on how we would like to treat others and also how we would also like to be treated.
Hmm.
So now, when we do this, it's important for us to know that when we set boundaries, we are not in any way trying to create walls around us. It's not to say that we are trying to shield people away, send people away out of our lives. The idea is for us to protect ourselves, you know, to protect ourselves and to also protect the other person, you know, to protect ourselves and to also protect our partner emotionally, you know, spiritually, mentally, and of course, physically as well. So this is very important. So now, I mentioned that boundaries are not walls, but they are bridges that help us to maintain respect and a healthy balance in our interactions with our partner. You know, we relate with people on a regular basis, on a daily basis, even if you are not even in a relationship, you are not in a romantic relationship, and you are just watching this. We all relate with people on a daily basis. That's something that we all do. So these guidelines will help us to know the things that we like to we do to others, the things that we also like the others to do to us. So now, why do we set boundaries? Why do they matter? Why is it important for us to set boundaries in a romantic relationship? First of all, having healthy boundaries will help us to protect our self-worth, our identity. our
Hmm.
energy. Having boundaries, healthy boundaries will help us to protect ourselves, protect our energy, our well-being, our identity, and of course our self-worth. And that also applies. It's not about us alone, like we said, it has to be healthy. So it's never about us alone. It's also about the other person. So we must always put this in mind when we are
Wow.
talking about building healthy boundaries. It's never about us, because there's a
Hmm.
saying that it takes two to tango. It
Yes.
takes two people to actually be in a relationship. So it's important for us to know that it's never about us alone. As we are protecting our self-worth, we are also protecting the other person's self-worth by having a healthy boundary in that relationship. We are also protecting the other person's, our partner's energy and their identity. So now the
Okay.
next thing is to also avoid resentment and burnout. As women, I really want to believe that most of us that are watching this, I know that a number of us watching this will be are female. Most of us were raised to the normal gender role of a woman is to be submissive. Do you understand? Like, to be
Yes.
submissive and just do things to please
Okay.
others. So to say. Yeah, yes. But it's important for us to know that if we are not careful as women, not setting healthy boundaries will lead to burnout or
Hmm.
resentment. Do you understand that?
Wow.
So it's important for us
Yes.
to
Yes.
know that even though we are meant to be submissive, God wants us to be submissive. It's also important for us to know that we are allowed to say no. I don't know if I'm correct. I mean, if you
Yes. I'm
want me,
getting.
let's even leave it out of the romantic relationship now. We are able to have this live session today because you wanted it, and I was also available. Do you understand that?
Yes.
It's not a topic that, do you know, since when we've been talking about this live session, we talked about it and we were able to, come to an agreement as regards the thing.
Yes.
Some other person might not be interested, you might want something from someone and the person may not be interested. And
Hmm.
that's fine. You understand? That's not in any way to say, oh, this is a bad person. I could say, oh, sister Shion, I like your wig. Please, can you dash me? You could say no because you don't want to
Hmm.
dash me. Just know that we are not going to just do things because the other person wants us to do it. It's fine to be kind, to be kind to people, to be willing to go all out for people. But it's essential for us to know that we should not do this at the detriment of our own emotional and our mental
Hmm.
well. That's very important. That's a
Hmm.
point that we need to always go at the back of our minds as ladies. That's very important. Because at the end of it all, if you live like that, you're going to just weigh yourself down with, demands and all of that. And you won't be able to even take care of yourself. And
Hmm.
always know that you can't give from an empty cup. I mean, if you have a cup, you are holding a cup and there is nothing inside the cup, it will be difficult for you to pour from the cup because there is actually nothing in the cup. You understand? For you to
Yes.
be
Yes.
able to pour from that cup, there has to be something. At least there has to be whether wine or juice or what have you or water from the cup. So it's important for us to know that in order not to be bitter, we must learn to set healthy boundaries. So now they also help us to build boundaries also help us. They also help us to build deeper and more respectful connection,
Hmm.
with our partner. If you have a healthy boundary, you are able to respect each other. And when you respect each other, you are able to thrive on a deeper level because there is respect. I mean, respect is a very important foundation of every relationship. Am I
Yeah.
correct, sister?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's important for us to put that at the back of our mind. Also, boundaries also help us to avoid conflict, unnecessary drama, conflict, confusions, and chaos, and all of that. I mean, if you already know that this is something I will not accept, and you've already communicated that to your partner, the person already knows that you don't like this. And that helps you to stay away from drama and unnecessary tension and confusion and chaos and all of that. So now they clarify expectations and reduce misunderstandings. Your expectations are already spelled out in the relationship with the person you are in a relationship with. That way, your misunderstandings are minimal. They
Hmm.
are reduced because you already have your expectations clearly stated. So now we have different types of boundaries that we need to take note of.
Okay.
First of all, we have to start with emotional boundaries.
Hmm. Emotional bound.
Saying no to emotional dumping or manipulation. When you can see that, I mean, it's easy to cite emotional manipulation. I mean, but when you see that, are you able to say no to it? That's another thing. That's another thing another side to it. Are you able to say no? Do you even have that confidence to even
Hmm.
say no? Do you know that some people actually struggle with saying no?
Yes.
Because they've
Yes.
been raised to believe that saying yes, I think it stems from lack of self-esteem because you just want to do things to always please people because you don't
Hmm.
want this person to be offended. I mean, nobody wants to, I don't think any sensible person will want to always go around offending people. Do you understand? But it's
Yes.
important for us to know that there will be times that we are allowed to say no. No is just as valid as yes. Do you
Hmm.
understand that? It's just as
Yeah.
valid as saying yes. I mean, I'm unable to do this at this time. It's fine to say no. And, just say it in a polite and a very friendly way that will not hurt the person. I'm of the opinion that it's okay to say no. And
Yeah.
if the person you are saying no to truly respects you and values you, the person will understand. The people that are for you, you know. In fact, that's one of the signs you need to even pay attention to. If you say no to this and the person is offended, maybe they even say, "Oh, I don't want to be your friend again." It means that that person has shown you that they don't value you. Do you understand? They
Hmm.
don't value you. The relationship is all about them because it's
Hmm.
never about just one person.
Hmm.
And that's what makes it healthy, in my
Wow.
opinion. So now, we also need to know that another side to it is not oversharing personal information or other people's secrets. Have you
Hmm.
seen people that maybe they are in a relationship, they are I've seen it before. People are in a relationship, like me and you, let's assume that we are in a relationship. You are
Hmm.
Mr. O and Miss O. We are in a relationship, and then instead of us to sit down and be talking about ourselves, about our lives and all that, they are just there talking about other people's
Other
lives. Do you
people.
understand? Things that don't
Yeah.
really matter. Do you understand? So
Yes.
those are some of the boundaries that we need to put in place. This conversation, in what way does it benefit you? Are you just having the conversation just for having it, just to talk about something? But are you saying it because maybe there are lessons to learn from that particular
Hmm.
conversation you are talking about? Maybe something that happened to someone, like a story, and you are talking about it because there's something for both of you to learn from it, and probably, or maybe lessons, things not to do or things to do that you would want to incorporate into your own relationship. So it's important for us to pay attention to this. And of course, not oversharing personal information. I mean, there is a place for vulnerability in relationships. I'm big on that. I believe that if you are in a relationship with each other, of course, romantic relationship, you should be vulnerable with each other. Even as friends, for you to come together and say, okay, we are in a friendship, we are in a real friendship, it means that you trust each other to an extent. There is also the place of vulnerability in every relationship for connection to to be built, for any connection to be built. So, but now the point I'm trying to make here is that we must ensure not to overshare personal information. Let it not be that we are just yapping, pa, 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 pa. Do you understand? That's very important.
Yes, yes.
So
So,
now,
sorry, just to clarify. So, we are talking about like before marriage, like in this
yes,
context. Okay.
in
All
this
right, ma.
context,
All
yes,
right, ma.
yes.
Okay.
Of
You
course,
can go
as
ahead.
a different game entirely. When if you are in
Yes.
a
All
but
right,
you do
ma.
not room for secrecy in a relationship.
Mm.
No more. There is nothing
So we
like
are now
that.
one. Yes, I just wanted to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
that to
the two are
context.
behind the relationship. Or we are speaking about romantic relationship. I mean,
Relationship.
there is time for everything. I believe
Yes.
that yes, there's certain you can't just be in a relationship. Okay, let me just give an instance. You can't just be in a relationship with someone in 2 months or maybe 1 month, and you're already telling the person about all your family story. You understand? That's the point I'm trying to
Yes.
make.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that in case if the relationship doesn't go well or something, the person doesn't use all of the information against you. Do you understand? So there is timing to all of these things. You just have to learn to make that balance in order to ensure that you are not oversharing. You are not sharing more than enough too
Hmm.
early. That's the point I'm trying to
Too
make.
early. Hmm.
In a romantic relationship, but it's a different thing if it's a marriage. In a
Yes.
marriage, you have to, there should not even be
Secret.
any personal information. There is no personal information again when it comes to that. The two have become one in a marriage.
All right,
Yeah.
mama.
So, so now, when it comes to boundary as well, we also have respecting each other's space
Hmm.
and comfort. I mean, not touching each other in uncomfortable ways and body parts. Do you understand that? It's very important,
Yes. Yes.
knowing, having boundaries and regards, things that you will not do, the lines that you will not cross. I hear singles say, is it okay when single ask questions like, is it okay to kiss in a relationship? Is it okay to do this? When you are kissing somebody, do you think it just ends at kissing? Go and ask the married people.
Something
Go
else will
ask,
go down.
go
You
go
won't stop
go
at
ask that
kissing.
when our husband is kissing her, most times does it just end in kissing? So I mean, some of those questions should not even be asking because I believe that you already know what you want to do in your mind. You are just looking for who to
To
who to
encourage. Yeah.
encourage you or give you a go ahead for. So
My.
just stay away. And the Bible says you should flee from every appearance of evil. You
Yes.
know, you can tell that this good thing you are doing will not end well. So just flee from it. Just
Hmm.
stay away from it. It's very important.
Yes.
You can't say you are in a romantic relationship, you have done all the smooching in this whole world. The smooching that the married people have not even done, you have done it. And you are asking us, you are telling us that we did not do anything. Don't deceive
Anything.
yourself. So it's
Hmm.
important to put boundaries in place when it comes to, physical
Hmm.
aspect as well. That's very important. We also
Yes.
have the digital boundary, the way you use the internet. Do you use the internet? The internet is for our good, but it can
Hmm.
also it also has its own disadvantages if not well used. Do you understand that? Yes.
Yes.
So, how do you use the internet? Do you use it in a responsible way? Or do you just post it just to post, or just to say things,
Hmm.
or to insult people, or to abuse, or to cause trouble, and all of that? It's very important for us to pay attention to this. Your interactions. Do you know that someone told me something recently? Not quite recent. In fact, you know the person, but I'm not going to mention the person's name.
Okay.
The person actually reached out to me. You know the person. The person reached out to me and said that, that she would like me to, apparently, her brother was looking for a life partner. Do you understand that? And
Yes,
then
yes.
the brother now, maybe I wouldn't know what would have transpired. So the brother Sha told the sister to please help him get like a reasonable, like a sensible, maybe you could just
Responsible
connect
person.
and all of that. Do you
Okay.
know that this sister now went, I mean, I just go about my own business, sharing my own thoughts, about relationship and marriage,
Hmm.
online on my social media platforms. And then she now reached out to me on Facebook and said to me that, oh, I should please, that do I have any friend that I
Okay.
can recommend to her? And you know, she now said something that really touched me. She said that she really likes my values, because of the
Wow.
kind of things I used to post. And this is someone that, as at that time, I can't even remember her ever making
Like,
any, maybe a like or comment for me to have
wow.
even thought maybe she has seen my post. Do you understand the point I'm trying to say?
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm
yes.
not saying this to, the point I'm just trying to make is to say that people are
Hmm.
watching you. The kind of
Yeah.
things you share. Are
Hmm.
you the type who just always posting everything? The only thing you post is about your breast, your breast, and all of that. You are just doing. Do you understand?
Hmm.
It's important for you to pay attention. If you are doing that kind of thing, it means that you are also looking for someone like that. Do you
Hmm.
understand that?
Yes,
Yes. So
yes.
it's important for us to. The idea is just to know that we should not underestimate the importance of all of these things. The
Digital.
internet is there for us to make impact, positive impact. People make money, you know, connections, opportunities, and all of that. But how do you
Hmm.
use it as a person? That's very important. We
Yes.
also have social boundaries. Social boundaries. This is
Social
very important
boundaries.
because, yes,
Okay.
social boundaries. I've seen people that in relationship, you are already, maybe you already left a relationship that didn't work out. Now you are with another person, but you are still always in touch with your ex.
Hmm.
I mean, you're
Hmm.
already setting up yourself for confusion. I
Hmm.
mean, because I saw something today, a post today that was talking about the fact that you can't love two people at the same time. It's either you are in love with the person or you are in love with the other person. So you just,
Wow. I like that.
you
In
can't
love
tell
or
us
in
that
love
you
with
love,
the other
if you
person.
are still with
Wow.
the person, if you still want to really want to be with the person, it's fine. You
Hmm.
can go. The
Go back.
person is your ex for a reason. Do you understand that? It
Yes,
means
yes.
that something didn't work out. That's why you are not together. So it's
Hmm.
essential for you to, let go, find closure. That's one thing that a lot of singles struggle with these days.
Hmm.
Find closure with that, end the relationship. Don't confuse yourself. Don't
Hmm.
confuse the whole world. Are you done with this person? You need to know if you are done. If you think that you still want to be with the person, be with the person. Do you
Hmm.
understand that?
Yes,
But you
yes.
but you shouldn't be in a relationship and then you are always still in touch with your ex.
Yes.
And I know it can be a bit controversial. Some people will tell you that, oh, no, maybe we have known each other, or maybe we are, I mean, some
But
of those
nothing will
things.
happen.
Your partner may not be comfortable. If it makes your partner uncomfortable, then you
Hmm.
shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You shouldn't be
Yes.
doing it. You shouldn't be having that kind of. So it's important because it tells the person that you don't respect them, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Because
Wow.
if they do that to you, would you be happy about it? So it's
Hmm.
important for you to know that
Wow.
interactions with exes, family and friends, and all of that. That's very important. That's about social boundaries. You
Boundaries.
see some we are just church members, or maybe we are just neighbors or something, but the kind of things they do, all in the name of their neighbors. I
Hmm.
mean, and you are wondering that, and you people say you are neighbors or you are just friends or something, but the kind of things you are doing, married people say, I'm not, they are not even doing that, and
Hey.
you are saying you are just you are deceiving yourself. Don't deceive us.
Hey.
So it's important to pay
Hmm.
attention to all of it. So now let's quickly talk about the steps The steps to set healthy boundaries.
Okay.
You have to know your limits. What are your likes? What are the things that excite you? What are the things that make you stressed out? The things that make you uncomfortable. That would help you. We are all different. The things that would make me uncomfortable might not make you uncomfortable anyway. Do you understand? So it's important
Yes.
for us to know ourselves. It all boils down to self-awareness. You need to understand yourself. Know
Hmm.
yourself. Just take time to study yourself and know your limits. Know the things you like, the things you don't like, the things that make you uncomfortable. That way, you are able to communicate. You will be able to take your limits, your boundaries in a clear, direct, and a respectful way. Do you understand that? Because
Yes.
you
Yes.
already know. I mean, if this person shouts at you and you know that you don't like that, you are able to say it in a polite way that I don't like when you shout at me, things like that. So now I have here that you have to be assertive, but don't be rude. Say it, be confident, be bold in saying it, but not in an offensive way. That's very important.
Hmm.
I also have it that in order to achieve this, it's important to use the word I. So for instance, you shout at me and I'm not comfortable with that. Say I'm not comfortable with that. You understand?
Yes, I
You
do.
express how you feel, not what the person has done, not what has been done to you. You express how you feel. So
Hmm.
that way it won't seem like you are blaming the person, you are blaming your partner. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because it's essential for you to avoid, if you blame the person at the end of it all, you would have done something as terrible as what the person has done, so to
Hmm.
say. So it's essential for you to use the word I, express how you feel about the situation so that you don't end up blaming the person. So now I also have it that you can start practicing that gradually. Start small. If there
Start
are things you are
practicing.
not comfortable, yeah, in a small way, not everything that the person has done to you that since you have been in the relationship that you talk about in a conversation. You can start gradually. Start talking about the things you are not comfortable with, the
Hmm.
things you feel that you can do better. Start talking about it, and that would also help you to build confidence. And when you have bigger issues to talk about, you already built that confidence to help you to be able to speak up without being rude. That's very important. I also have here that it's important to be consistent. Consistency is very important. You
Consistent.
know,
Hmm.
yeah. Consistent in stating your boundaries. Consistency. That's very key as well. And also prepare. You need to build a thick skin because sometimes when you state what your boundaries are, the other person might not accept the first time. Do you understand that? So be prepared for pushback. I mean, do you understand, like pushbacks?
Hmm.
So, but of course, if you are consistent, you'll be easy for the person to know that, oh, this person doesn't really like this, and I need to do something about it. Do you understand that? So
Yeah.
not everyone will understand, and I think this also goes with relationships generally.
Hmm.
Not everyone will understand or accept your boundaries, and that's fine. Do you understand that? That's fine.
Yeah.
Not everybody will accept your boundaries, but you have to set them. You have to set them. I remember there was a lady. I love to send voice notes. Maybe like sometimes if I don't want to type, I want to have a. We do it too now, myself and
Yeah.
we do that a
Yeah.
lot. We just send. And I remember I once sent a voice note to someone. The person told me that she doesn't used to listen to voice notes. That if you send that voice note without informing her prior to the voice note, she will not listen to it.
Wow.
But you have to listen to mine because at that time we are just met. We are not really met for a long
Oh,
time. Do you understand?
yes,
And
yes.
of course, and I respected that. Do you get that? I respected the
Mm,
fact that she already told me that. And till tomorrow, if I want to speak with her, I will have to send a message, like type my long message, because she already told me that she doesn't like it. Do you understand that?
yes,
She
yes,
has a reason for it, you know. You just have to know that. But some other person may still not listen to that. That's the point I want to try to bring out. That she
yeah.
might tell someone, and the person still feels, what do you mean by you don't listen to voice notes, and the
So,
person still send it. Do you understand? So be prepared for pushback. People will put sometimes, they will not accept, but if you are consistent and polite enough, I really believe that you would be able to overcome that. So focus on mutual respect. That's very important. You know, bear in mind that boundaries are not, they are not about control. It's not that you want to start controlling the person. No, that's not the intention.
hmm,
You know, boundaries are not about control. It's not to say, oh, I don't like you sitting down like this. I don't like the way you laugh. I don't like the way you talk. No,
hmm,
stay like this. I don't like your wig. You know, that's not what we are talking about. I don't like your shirt. I don't like your sneaker. No, no, that's not what we are talking about. So it's not about control. Rather, they are about respect and genuine care for each other and for
hmm.
the relationship. Yeah, so that's what boundary is about. So I also have here that there are some signs that will let you know if your boundaries are being disrespected or they are unhealthy.
Wow.
You know, yes, there are also some signs that will tell that your boundaries are unhealthy. You know, if you are in a relationship with someone and you are experiencing some of these things, that's to say that maybe you don't have a healthy boundary in place. You know, if you feel drained and bitter,
Hmm,
you know, you feel resentful,
hmm,
relationship shouldn't be that difficult. I understand that it takes a lot of work, do you understand, to have a healthy relationship. But I
hmm.
don't think it should be something that drains you. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Am I
Yes,
correct? It
yes,
shouldn't
yes.
be. It shouldn't be something that makes you anxious because you
Hmm,
have to work on eggshells because you don't know what you might do that might piss this person off. It shouldn't be. And it shouldn't make you bitter in any way. Your no should not be ignored. It shouldn't be punished. You should be able to say no without having to pay for it. Do you understand?
hmm. Yes,
Without your no being ignored or being punished. Do you understand that? That's very
yes.
important. And you should not be pressured to share or do things that you are not ready to do. Do you
Okay.
understand? You should
Yes.
not be under pressure to do the things or act in ways that you are not comfortable with. So it's important for us to pay attention to these points. And I really believe that the Lord will continue to help us in our relationships, be it romantic, marriage, and our day-to-day activities and interactions with others. In Jesus' name. I
Amen.
hope I've been able to explain the topic.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. I mean, I've learned quite a number of things that I didn't even know before. All those types of boundaries, emotional boundaries. And I love that you made us know that really this boundary is not even about control. It's not about don't do this, don't do that. It's much more for self-care and those signs that you said that if you are in a relationship, like relationship are not supposed to stress us. Of course, there is work. There's the work of, but the work should be done joyfully, not out of feeling sad or feeling anxious. But I just have one question. So let's say that my someone like I'm a lady and the man I'm in a relationship, the guy I'm in a relationship with is not respecting my boundary with respect to not having sex. You spoke about body boundaries, or like boundaries to our bodies, and I've mentioned it over and over again. And this person is still insisting that there's nothing there now. We are going to be one day, so why not let's start the oneness from now? So what do I do? Do I keep saying, do I keep on in that relationship and saying, okay, I'm not yielding to this, I'm not yielding to this? Or like, what's your advice for such a person? Maybe in like 1 minute, so can just let us know.
That if anyone is in that kind of relationship, it means that your values are not aligned.
Hmm.
It means that, and that's a very important, is a very important thing. This thing you are talking about is a big issue because it's a major issue in relationship and marriage. Your faith. It means that you don't have the same, you don't believe in the same thing.
Hmm.
So now, in that kind of situation, someone that is telling you that, if you keep your boundaries and you go into that, you do that and all of that, that person will probably commit adultery when you are eventually married.
Hmm.
Because what you are trying to tell the person is that it's okay to disobey God. Do you
Hmm.
understand? It's okay to
Hmm.
obey
Hmm.
God's word.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think any lady should even be that kind of thing. You know what to do. You pick your this thing and you leave that kind of relationship because it
Wow.
means that your values are not aligned. You
Allah.
don't have the same. You don't believe in the same thing as regards your faith. That's what it means. It's
Wow.
important to pay attention to that.
Hmm.
That's what.
Wow, that's a key thing to note. Values not being aligned. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the points that you have made. And I'm sure that anybody who listens to this is definitely blessed by it. Thank you, Ma. We hope to have you again very soon. Thank you so much, Ma. I pray that God will continue to strengthen you and increase your sphere of influence. God bless you, Ma. So with this, we have come to the end of setting healthy boundaries in relationship. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye for now. Thank you once again, Ma.
God bless you. I really appreciate it. God bless you.
Amen. All
That's
right.
your
Bye.
husband.
Yeah, my regards too. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much. Bye. Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, Ma.
Bye.